truck pulled out, the crowd went into boos. That showed us that we were gaining a little momentum, and they were throwing the hats and stuff and the t-shirts into the crowd. Well, they were being thrown back. So, it ended up being something that they stopped doing during the lockout because, it was certainly a show of support towards the union and not the company.
Meanwhile, back on the line, on the most celebrated drinking day of the year, the members were in a festive mood.
1, 2, 3, 4! Say hey Johnny for the battle call. United we stand, divided we fall. Together we are what we can be alone. We came to this country, you made it home.
There was a growing feeling among local members that a change was coming. Ski masks were traded for sunglasses, and the moon passed as close to the Earth as it had in decades.
After that much time, rather than people getting down because we've been out so long, in actual fact, it was almost a reverse of the timeline because people were getting happier and happier as the weather shifted, as the temperatures shifted, as you started to see everything change, and instead of the memberships kind of morale going down, it was just they were even keeled throughout all the worst of the worst, and then when that shift kind of happened, it started to, everyone's spirits were up.
Definitely a special magical bond that happens in those instances, and it's very cool to see it work and see friendships made out of it. And yeah, it's like anything, like war, like being on a team, those things create a bond that you can't just find walking down the street.
Springs are coming.
Not a bad forecast coming up. We can expect to see a mix of sun and cloud today. The winds will be gusting to 50 kilometers an hour, and the high temperature a little on the cool side at +3 degrees.
There's only so much that they could produce and they could have off-site or anything. So the more that people drank, it was just a matter of time. It was just a timing thing that there was going to be nothing left. That's where the strategy of drinking it, came to fruition.
It was a shocking strategy, one that kind of felt nice. I think it won support. It was like these guys, they're not taking that we hate the company, management is awful, they're horrid. And to take a high road like that in tense times, especially when it was pretty obvious the company took the first move, was pretty impressive. It also was smart. It helped deplete domestic resources, which said you have to solve this soon because it's going to cost you money.
It wasn't by coincidence that when we found out from security that there was nothing left in the warehouse and that everything that was coming out was made that day, it wasn't too long after that before we got a call.
Well, the company's willingness to come back to the table, we think, was really based on the public support for the local, as well as the solidarity of the membership on the picket line, and importantly, because of the drink them dry strategy that the union had. The company was finally willing to come back to the bargaining table, and as this local has a long history of doing, we were offering up solutions. They proved to be good and formed the basis of the collective agreement.
It was the union that made the stretch, that came up with the solution that was good for the workers, good for the community, and ultimately good for the company.
Well, after 5 weeks of solidarity and a resolve, the answers to the big question are all right here. I think the executive and the negotiating team, did the work that they had to do, which was to negotiate and determine the best offer that the employer was prepared to make.
Unionized workers at Moosehead Breweries are back making beer. A 5-week lockout came to an end after the union and company reached a memorandum of agreement. Post-retirement medical benefits were at the center of the dispute.
The local's development of a united front, its creation of community support and strategic decision-making forced the company to include post-retirement benefits for the families of Local 362 in an improved offer. The future for Local 362 is brighter because of their fearless solidarity during the dark, cold days of the winter of 2011.
I remember when we reached a tentative agreement with the company, and we were going back to tell the members of the picket line that we were taking the line down. And I waited around, and everything got cleaned out, and I was kind of the last person to leave, and I was going to lock the door. And finally, I'm out and I'm locking the door, and I'm watching this car, and all of a sudden I'm hearing a horn going, and it went from one end of the brewery right to the other. And we didn't even have a person out there, no signs, no nothing. So this person was still wanting to support our deal, but it was over.
Unions out there have to realize that change is inevitable. It's coming, and you're better off to be the authors of said change than you are to be the result of it. If unions as a whole don't take it upon themselves to concisely look and really look at where their problems are and where problems might lie for the companies that they work for, and come with solutions to deal with those, it will spell failure.
If you eliminate a union, you lose this tremendous capacity, and you lose this democratic feedback that I think is important for a society.
Unions can do a lot of things besides just represent workers in their workplace. I think unions have educated people in a way that they wouldn't have been otherwise. I think belonging to a trade union makes a working guy, more politically, plugged in than he would normally be, because he sort of has to be.
It was an experience that I would never take back, even though it was one of the most stressful and one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. But it showed a lot of character in people there, and what was in people's hearts and what was important in life.
We are the ones who will never be broken. We are the ones who survive. This is the sound that brings us together. You are the one by our side. And through it all,
what you really learn from these things is if you don't show up with resolve for these issues yourself and know where you want to be, you are going to fail. This happened for no reason at all other than the fact that they tried to drive a deal down our throat.